This is the Lockpicker 1969, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the next episode of Interview with the Lockpicker. Today's guest is NicksPicks. Say hi.
Hi, hello everybody. Hope you're all well.
So, where are you from?
I'm from England, the UK, sunny England, Little Britain. I was born in Norfolk, but I was only born there. I've spent a lot of my life in Lincolnshire. But
Okay.
I have spent a lot of time living in the north of England, the Midlands, the Southeast, and also a couple of years in Spain.
All right. So, how and when did you get into locksport?
Well, actually, funny story, locksport actually found me. I wasn't even looking for it. An advert came up on Facebook from Lock Cowboy, just showing off some, the transparent pics and so on. And I thought, well, that looks interesting. I had a little look online. Then I found out locksport was a thing with Bosnian Bill, lockpicking lawyer, lock noob, and the helpful lockpicker. So we ordered those, and then the rest, as I say, is history.
Okay. So,
really,
when did you first try it?
That was in the autumn or the fall of 2019.
Okay.
So a little while ago. Yeah.
So, how did you first get your feet wet? I mean, what you said you purchased the cowboy set.
Yes. I bought the cowboy set, and then obviously opened those locks in no time at all, as everyone has the same story. And then everybody says, for no good, you want to get yourself a master lock, number 1, number 3, etc. So you go down to the hardware store and you get those, and then you pop those open, and then so it begins. You don't quite realise, I don't think, what a money pit it can be, I have to say. But that's in the beginning until you start knowing where to look, I think. Yeah, after that.
So the cowboy set, how long did that work for you till you wound up looking for, I'm assuming, what was that?
Not very long, about a month.
Okay, so what did you go to next?
After that, I saw the Ghosto set, which Lock Noob, I'm not plugging anybody here, by the way. I saw his review on the Ghosto set where he uses one of the auto wafer rakes as a pickle fork. I saw that and thought that was quite a big set, so I thought I'll get that for the money. Then I'll come to realise that was another waste of time and waste of money. After that, I went into Law Lock Tools. After joining the Facebook group, the UK Lockpickers Coliseum, I got Law Lock Tools. I got in touch with Harry Bone, got some custom picks made, which then started that addiction of collecting those. Yeah. It's for so many rabbit holes, which we could loop round to this, couldn't we? With what I love about locksport, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's so many things.
I don't know very many people who didn't go crazy on tools in some way, shape, or form. So,
yeah. I did regret. I did go down the false economy. This is a top tip for anybody new. Don't think it's a good idea to buy cheap tools for a start, because it's not. You might as well buy good tools, because you're going to put a lot of pressure on tension until you learn that.
Yeah.
You're going to bend your cheap tools in no time. You might as well just buy some buy some good tools, what won't bend as much, and they're a good quality, a good thickness, a good steel, and you won't look back. Because I bought 3 cheap sets and then still bought all the good ones anyway afterwards, after wasting all that money. It could have saved a lot of time.
Well, I think that, and learn when you can make your own tools and how to find the materials to do so cheaply. I mean, there's no reason to spend a ton of money on bottom of the keyway tension wrenches when you can make them out of wiper blade inserts. But top of the keyway, those are a bit more challenging, and you kind of have to have a kind of a understanding of how to go about that if you're going to make your own. But yeah, so anyway, that's
my favourite tensioners are ones made out of window wiper inserts.
Yeah,
I have to say, they're my favourite ones ever. They fit so many locks so easily, and they don't block the pin like a lot of standard manufactured TOK wrenches do.
Yeah,
because you can can have a much shorter
You can
insert.
do so many different varieties and have so many choices right at your fingertips to use on whatever occasion you need them for. So, so
Mm.
in your journey, what challenges would you say you faced in learning?
Oh, that's a good one. Challenges. Challenges regarding locks, disc detainer locks. I'm still struggling with those. Regarding other challenges in a sort of outside the box thinking would be space, because I don't have a lock lab. I'm sort of in the living room, so I have to keep getting my stuff in and out, and slowly locks are taking over the living room and the hallway.
Yeah,
It was slowly becoming my lock lab.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, that's another challenge as well. Is finding somewhere to do it, in between life and family time and everything else. Like I say, disc detainer locks, that's a bit tricky. And also just finding the right mindset to do YouTube videos, because I do struggle with that sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah, in the right mindset to do those.
I
And
would,
that makes
yeah, I would
a lot
definitely.
of
I would just, I was just going to say, I would definitely say learning how to do lighting and the camera and the angles and get that down and actually do the recording and not have a camera in your face and you can't see what you're actually working on. Those are all
yeah,
challenges you have to get figured out before you start
really
recording anything.
very different spin on the whole thing. It really does, which is
So,
good to know as well.
so
It's
you,
as interesting picking counterclockwise to clockwise, what you're used to,
yeah.
It's good.
Well, okay, so to explore a little deeper into the learning how to do the recordings, what were your first recordings about?
I primarily started. It all started, obviously, you get your picks, and then when you talk to your wife about them, their eyes glaze over. So you search it on Facebook and you find some groups, and you join some groups. And then I started interacting and posting some opens and getting good feedback from people on there. And
Yeah,
then obviously, when you start noticing you're watching channels all the time, you see regular commenters. So then I started to dip my feet into the commenting side of things just to get involved with the video makers community. And again, that was equally supportive and warm and welcoming.
yeah,
And then it came to giveaways, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to join in on this because these challenges look fun. And it's, again, it's a very big, nice community sort of based thing. So it was a giveaway is what started me off. I think my first video was for Nose Picker, who doesn't actually do any more videos, by the way, because his
yeah,
life's got too busy. But
yeah.
he's one of the collaborators to the Three Monkeys set. There was Harry Bow, Leighton Short, who's Nose Picker, and Lockpicker 69. John. They all did the Three Monkeys. They did one for America, one for the UK, and one for Australia, I believe. But that's how I got to know them. And that's how I ended up getting pulled into the challenge lock side of things as well. But it was mostly giveaways. Sorry, I'm digressing. The YouTube thing was mostly for giveaways, but since then it's more about just having fun, sharing what I'm doing as well, without somebody glazing over and looking bored with what you're saying. And also the other big thing is finding other channels from looking at giveaways,
Yeah,
as well as challenges the giveaways present. There's so much to it. Like I say, every sort of rabbit hole leads to another rabbit hole
yeah, it
in
does.
this, which
It's
is no bad thing.
it's so easy to go down a rabbit hole in this hobby. There are so many of them to fall into. But so you got initially into the community through participating in these giveaways and so forth. But if I recall during the pre-interview, you were talking about you had some apprehension about doing the whole online thing. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. It's anxiety and self-consciousness. I've got massive imposter syndrome, which is why I don't bother doing lots of how-to videos. A, because there's already tons out there, and B, because I don't feel like I've got much to tell anybody really. Which is why I'm more about the fun side of things and doing the challenges and sharing my excitement and giving back, doing my own giveaways and that sort of thing, really. Yeah, like I say, I have to get in the right mindset for it, really.
Yeah.
That comes from COPD and COVID and everything.
Yeah.
I was never really confident before, but since being locked up for 2 lockdowns over in the UK and being accustomed to living in a living room
Yeah.
because of the breathing and everything, COPD, it kind of makes you anxious and more introverted, which is why I like to keep doing it as well,
Yep.
because it's kind of like, it's not just being in touch with the outside world, I'm in touch with the whole world.
Yeah.
So, which is amazing. Everyone's awesome. I
So,
can't imagine my life without it anymore.
okay, well,
Lock sport is
I,
my life.
I want to explore that a little bit. So you got into, you overcame that. You got into participating in these different giveaways and contests, that sort of thing. I would imagine you dove a little deeper into getting involved in the community a bit, though. For that, can you maybe go into that a little bit?
Well, I'm not too sure what you mean. I mean, regarding the community,
Well, I mean,
whenever I see some new pickers up in the Facebook groups or whatever, I send out free locks just randomly. I'll pick someone and say, "Give me your address. I'll send you some locks." I've also sent some lever locks over to, I think there's Knox and Lady Locks and various other people over in the States, just to try and get those introduced over there, because that's the other thing about it as well. If there's no locks about near where you live, like Lockwoods are common in Australia, but not anywhere else, people are really happy to do swaps and send things over and all of that sort of thing.
yeah.
So what I like in the community is the fact that everybody seems to want to give more than they receive.
This is
which
true.
is why everyone always seems happy all the time.
I think everybody pays it forward.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's my biggest thing. If all I ask is if everybody who's ever had anything nice done to him in the locksport community, the biggest thanks you could ever give is to show it being paid forward. And that's what I like to do as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really rewarding when people you've seen start and then grow, when you see them actually paying it forward in the community, and then those people as well. It just makes you feel like a proud parent.
Yeah.
In a same sort of way. But yeah, that's the biggest rewarding thing for me. It is just the giving and the niceness, the generosity and the support, and feeding into that wherever I can.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be a part of it all, really. Like I say, I can't imagine locksport not being part of my life. It's so much of my life now.
Yeah.
A big, big hole if it was never not there anymore. That's all I can say.
I understand. I understand that.
Making the videos, collecting the locks, collecting the pics, the stickers, the poker chips. There's so much to it all. The challenge locks, making the challenge locks, picking the challenge locks.
Yeah.
More. It's it's great. I would be lost without it, and now I know why it found me, because I needed it.
I have.
It seems.
I have to admit, I've been away from things for a few months here, dealing with other things and doing other things, and I have missed it. So I do want to make somewhat of a comeback the best way I can with the time I've got. We'll see what happens. But so,
yeah,
in the community, I asked you before in the pre-interview and mentioned about, the belt ranking system, and you weren't pursuing it, but now you said you're thinking about it.
I am thinking about it. Yes. I thought, well, I've picked a few good locks in my time, obviously, because I've been doing it a little while. I've always been shy and not confident enough to do a few of them on video, so that's picked up a bit more this last year. I was a bit slow up until then. But now I'm thinking I might just probably go in for a blue belt, because I have made some challenge locks. One of which I've asked to be sent to DMAC to verify. And there's some locks on there I know I've picked as well. So I thought I might just have a go, because why not?
Okay, so you've made a few challenge locks. I don't want to go into the details of all of these individual locks we're going to go over, because we're going to do an interview just on your challenge locks alone. So I want to give people a cue up that's coming and have them tune in to listen about that. But so what are some of the challenge locks that you've put out there?
I've been part of two collaborative sets, one of which was orchestrated by Barry Bradford, which involved 4 locks, ICOs, not everyone who has had them has picked them all. I think only Harry Bow and maybe Leighton Shaw. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I made one of those locks. Gordon had the Thunderbird set. That was my first one, and it was Barry what encouraged me to do it. He was the one what actually encouraged me to get into challenge locks, picking them when I first started, actually.
Okay.
So there's that one. And then I was also recently included into a group by DMAC. And there was a guy there called Hozzer, a few of you may know and have heard of, I'm sure by now.
Yep.
He was doing a group where he was sending out some locks, and the challenge was we had no key. He sent it out with no keys, just blank keys. We had to pick both sides and then repin one side with our own new bitting as a factory side would be, and then do the challenge pins on the other side so the same key would work for both sides. And then put it all back together as a working Euro with a working cam so you could put it in any door.
Very cool.
So that was quite a challenge because it was a pain in the arse doing the cam, I've got to say. But I do thank him for it because we all did it. We all felt pushed and we all did it and we all felt great afterwards. So I salute you, Hozzer, I have to say. But that was a good fun set. And as far as I know, Georgia Jim is the only one who's picked all of them so far. And he's going to be receiving a free mug from Lockdown Picker to celebrate.
Very cool.
But that's the competitive set I've done. Lady Locks was one of the makers. Harry Bow, D-Mac, Hozzer, myself. Who else? Nick Hope. Can't remember. I'm missing someone. I'm sorry, I can't remember.
It's all right.
But there's a few anyway, so that's been really good fun. And then I've made one on my own, which was called Worm. I just did that just off my own bat because I was bored one day. Named after my wife. That was the nickname when we was in our 20s, many moons ago. So yeah, I named my first independent challenge lock after my wife.
Okay. It's all right.
Being what it is.
Okay, so we're gonna definitely do a follow-up interview and talk about your challenge locks that you've made, because that sounds a lot, and to talk about some of the ones you've picked as well.
Oh, well,
yeah,
that's a long. That's another day because there's about 200.
Yeah, and you said something about keeping a logbook.
Yeah, I've recorded every single one I've picked.
That's amazing.
Yeah, from day one.
Definitely want to go into some more detail on that one, and talk about some of those that really stand out for you. So, you mentioned about your YouTube channel that you were originally doing it to, just kind of put some things out there. Can you explain that a little bit, and then talk about what you've?
It started off as giveaways. And then I kind of reached 100 subscribers, and I thought, well, this is a perfect time to give something back. I don't want to be seen as one of life's takers. I really want to give something back. Actually, it was then when I learnt about being aware of how much weight your parcels weigh when you're sending overseas, because I put so much in it cost me a fortune.
Yeah.
I had to learn of a 2 kilogram rule very quickly after that.
Yeah. No, I get that one. Unfortunately, I know that one very well.
Yeah. Well, that's how we first met, wasn't it? It was over on your giveaways.
Yeah.
The chat and the powwow about costs and overseas and everything else.
Yeah, wasn't that one when I was just starting to do the locksport T-shirts, I think? I
think so, yeah. Around about that time. It was just then.
Okay.
I won your Dinful Lotto locks.
Yeah, okay.
And one of your poker chips. Yeah, it was back then. I just started,
What's the future of your channel?
Well, that's interesting. Basically, it's just to carry on saying thank you publicly to people what deserve it when I receive things, like packages I've bought or things I've been given. I think that's first and foremost.
Yep.
I'd like to stay involved in the community, basically because that's the best way. Not just chatting to people and finding out stuff you wouldn't normally know, but to find new channels from their entries, and it's only by staying, keep watching these channels that you see these giveaways, then you can type in a hashtag and you see all the people who have entered, and then you find these new channels. And it's the same when I do giveaways as well. I've had a couple of times on both my giveaways, people I've never heard of enter, which is amazing. There was even
Yeah.
a guy what never made videos before, but decided to make a video. I'm going to shout him out now and give him a salute. Martin Stockbridge, this one's for you. Salute and respect to you. This guy made his first video to do an entry. He did a couple of things wrong, so we mentioned it, and bless his heart, he came back and made the second video. Now, he didn't win mine, but he did win another giveaway from someone else recently after that.
That's
and
cool.
I did say on there, he won it.
Very
so,
cool.
Yeah. And what I hope for the channel is, if it encourages people to just come out of the shell, stop being shy, and mingle and mix more. I mean, this is already a rapidly growing sport.
So, go ahead.
If it can help anybody in any way, then I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And doing, not just doing videos, but just commenting and things like that. You know, there's more and more channels doing giveaways for commenters as well now, which is good.
Yeah. So, speaking of thank yous, are there any lock sporters out there that you'd like to give a thank you to right now?
Yeah.
It's probably a long list, but which ones stick out for you that you have at top of mind?
Right, okay. Just bear with me. Let me find a piece of paper. Hang on a minute.
No problem. Take your time.
Right, look. First of all, thank yous. I can't find it. First of all, thank yous. I'd like to thank everybody what takes the time to make the channels and the videos with all the information and sharing the fun in the first place, because that really helps everybody and it keeps it all alive. Second of all, I'd like to thank everybody what's helped me in the past, who continue to help me as well. That's pretty much everybody. And I'd like to thank all my subscribers for all the kind words and support. Pretty much. Oh, and my good wife for putting up with me.
You and I have that in common for sure. So, yeah. All right. Well, last question before we wrap up. What would you say is your favorite thing about locksport? And I'm hearing community here, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, community all day long, my friend. It really is. Without the community, they're just locks.
Yes.
I mean, I say just locks. I don't mean to diss them. We all love picking them, obviously. We all love, how they look, a nice pop, the different mechanisms. It all gets us going because we've all got inquisitive minds what like to work out problems. But without the community, it wouldn't be what it is. It wouldn't be a patch. It wouldn't be anywhere close. It's for people in it.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say it's rewarding, but it's all that more rewarding because the community is part of it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the friendships I've gained, the advice, the kindness, and the support of everybody is just more than. It's actually, I've had more warmness from people I've never met from all around the world than I've ever had in real life from people I've known.
Yep.
Take that. Yep. Yeah, and that's a fact. And that's why I'm not going anywhere, and it's not leaving me, because it's, like I say, it found me, and there's a reason for that, and now we know why.
That's awesome. So, do you have a final message for our audience before we sign off?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a stupid question.
Yeah.
I think is my big piece of advice. It doesn't matter what belt you are, how good you are, how good you think or don't think you are. Mm-hmm. It's always worth asking, because there is a plethora of people what are waiting and eager to help you. So ask away.
The only stupid question is the one that doesn't get asked.
That's correct. Indeed, yeah. So 100%.
You could not have led me into my segue to the closing any better. I appreciate that layup. But I encourage people, if you have not been interviewed yet, come forward. I do my best to make this a painless process, and I do my best to make it a fun thing to do. But you don't have to be a, black belt 14th Dan to be worthy of being interviewed or anything like that. We all have a story to tell and share, and everybody would like to hear about everyone else that they're talking to in the forums. Put a name with a personality and perhaps even, other hobbies and interests that person has that makes them more of a well-rounded person that we share of ourselves. I encourage that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I want to say thank you to you for doing this interview. I'm very much appreciate it. I had a blast with us getting to talk, and it's about time. It's been it's been overdue.
It's been very nice getting to know you again, Michael. Like I
definitely.
God,
yeah,
a little while ago, but it's been lovely. It really has. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
and thank you all for listening.
You too. So, okay, with that, I'm going to wrap this up. If you are a subscriber, thank you. If you are not yet a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications and all, and hit like on the video. And thanks for listening.